What to do after no contact? You've stood your ground, embraced the silence, and made her feel the weight of your absence. But here's the truth no one tells you. This isn't the victory lap. This is the first bell of round one. And if you mishandle what comes next, every ounce of discipline you've shown could crumble in seconds. This stage isn't about waiting for her to notice. It's about becoming the man whose presence feels like a privilege. It's where you turn quiet into power, stillness into strategy, and absence into a shift so profound that she can't step back into your life without earning it. Stay with me, because in this video, I'll show you the exact moves to make her chase you, reignite her desire, and see you as the high-value man she can't replace. Start this journey now, like this video, and subscribe to Stoic Station. Drop a 1 if you've ever used no contact before, or a 2 if you're in it right now. I want to hear your story, and don't look away, because what comes next will decide whether you hold the upper hand or hand it right back to her. Let's begin. 1. No contact isn't the win, it's the opening move. No contact is not the trophy at the end of the race, it's the sound of the bell starting round 1. Too many men mistake it for the entire fight, sitting in silence as if her return is inevitable, as though absence alone is the magic that will bring her back. But the truth is far sharper. No contact is not the finish line, it's the reset. It's the moment you step out of the chaos, stop reacting to every move she makes, and start creating the kind of space where power shifts. Think of it like resetting the chessboard. You've cleared the pieces, and now the next move will decide the entire game. But space alone doesn't win anything. Left unmanaged, silence becomes nothing more than a fading echo. At first, she may feel relief. She may even convince herself she's won because you stopped reaching out. But that's just the opening stage of the psychological cycle. If you come back too quickly, without direction or intent, you'll confirm her belief that she never really lost you, and the balance tips right back in her favor. The Stoic knows better. This is not about playing dead and hoping she notices. This is about using the quiet to grow stronger, to sharpen your boundaries, and to design your next move with precision. No contact is the proving ground where you decide what kind of man she would have to chase to re-enter your life. Not the man she remembers, not the man who once waited at her doorstep, but a man so centered, so purposeful, that his presence feels like a privilege. This time is your advantage, not your punishment. It's the season to invest in yourself, physically, mentally, socially. Build the life you want, not the life you think will lure her back. A man who treats no contact as the opening move understands he's not here to convince her. He's here to raise the standard so high that she must convince him. The Stoic doesn't pause for effect. He pauses for preparation. Every day you hold the line is a day you strengthen your position. And when the silence finally breaks, it won't be luck that decides the outcome. It will be the man you became while the world thought you were standing still. That's the man she will notice. That's the man she will chase. And the question that lingers, when she does, will be whether you even let her catch you. 2. Read her first moves, not her first words. Her hey isn't the message, it's the move behind the message. Most men make the mistake of hanging on to every syllable, dissecting her words like they hold the whole truth, while ignoring the far louder language of her actions. In the first weeks after silence, what she does will reveal more than anything she says. The patterns of her behavior, who initiates, how often, in what tone, are the real indicators of where her mind is. But impatience is the enemy here. When you react too quickly, you hand the advantage back without realizing it. A single instant of eagerness can erase weeks of curiosity you've built through no contact. Even her silence might not mean she's gone. It could be a test to see if you'll crack first. And the moment you rush in to fill the gap, she'll know she still has the power to pull you in at will. A Stoic man reads the board before making his move. He tracks actions, not intentions. Keep a mental checklist. Does she initiate twice in a row without prompting? Does she propose meeting up without you leading? Does she respect your time instead of assuming it's always available? These are the quiet signals that matter far more than the exact wording of her messages. The truth is, patience is more than just waiting. It's a form of silent control. The man who waits long enough to see the full move never falls for half the play. And when you can see the difference between a real step toward you and a casual tap to keep you in orbit, you stop chasing shadows. That's when she starts to wonder if she still has a place in your story, or if the story has already moved on without her. 3. Reignite the spark without chasing the flame. Attraction isn't reignited by chasing, it's sparked by surprise. Too many men, after silence, rush back in with big declarations and dramatic gestures, not realizing they're erasing the very mystery that made her curious again. The spark doesn't come from flooding her with attention, it comes from letting her see, piece by piece, that you've changed. A calm, confident re-entry speaks louder than any speech. Growth is magnetic, but only if she feels she's discovering it on her own. The moment you start over-explaining your transformation or pushing for deep, emotional conversations too soon, you smother the intrigue. She'll sense the weight of your eagerness, and instead of being drawn in, she'll pull away, convinced you've been waiting idly for her to return. The better play is subtlety. Respond light and neutral at first. Let your changes be visible in your life. New hobbies, improved health, sharper focus. Not in the words you try to sell her. When she connects the dots herself, the realization hits harder, because it's hers. The goal is simple. Let her feel she's meeting a new man, not stepping back into the same story. That's when she leans forward, wondering what else she hasn't yet seen. And curiosity, once ignited, is far harder to put out than any flame you could chase. 4. Feed her curiosity. Starve her certainty. Curiosity is what keeps her moving toward you. Certainty is what makes her stop. After no contact, one of the most common mistakes men make is oversharing, rushing to fill her in on every detail of their life, thinking transparency will rebuild connection. Instead, it kills intrigue and quietly lowers your perceived value. The less she has to figure out, the less she feels the need to keep coming closer. The power of this stage lies in pacing. When you reveal just enough for her to wonder, she invests more of her own energy to find out the rest. This doesn't mean playing games or being evasive. It means understanding that mystery fuels attraction, while certainty often ends it. But there's a delicate balance. Withholding everything can come across as cold or disinterested, while giving too much turns you into a man who's trying too hard to be accepted back. The key is to share in layers. Post glimpses of your life without explaining the entire story. Mention a project you're working on, but leave out the details until she asks. Answer her questions with enough substance to satisfy the moment, but not so much that there's nothing left to discover. Each interaction should feel like an open door she wants to walk through, not a complete tour she can finish in one sitting. A man who understands pacing never rushes to feed someone's curiosity all at once. He lets it grow naturally, knowing that every unanswered question pulls her closer. When she's leaning forward, wanting to know more, you've shifted the dynamic entirely. She's no longer wondering if she should come back. She's wondering what else she'll miss if she doesn't. 5. Stay steady. When the tide shifts, her warmth or her distance is not your compass, your principles are. When you reconnect after a period of silence, her energy will not be constant. One day she may seem open and eager, the next she may pull back without explanation. This is natural. especially when she's testing the new dynamic to see if it's real or just temporary. The mistake most men make is letting these shifts dictate their own behavior. They match her mood, chasing when she's cold and loosening their standards when she's warm. This makes you appear unstable and erodes her trust in your strength. The moment she senses you're being driven by her emotions instead of your own values, she will test harder or pull away completely. The Stoic response is steadiness. Keep the same tone, the same boundaries, no matter her state. Practice self-audit in every interaction. Am I leading from emotion or from principle? When your words and actions are guided by what you stand for, not how you feel in the moment, you project stability that's rare and magnetic. A man who is his own anchor never drowns in someone else's tide. And when she realizes she can't sway you with her highs and lows, she'll feel something far stronger than curiosity. She'll feel respect. 6. Make her earn back her seat at the table. Your life is a table of limited seats. Hers is no longer reserved. After she's been gone, most men make the fatal mistake of pulling the chair back out the moment she shows up again, as if nothing happened. But no contact has already shifted the balance. You're no longer the one waiting to be chosen. You are the one deciding who sits close and why. When you give that seat away too soon, you strip it of its value. What's easily given is easily forgotten. If she returns to find that her place at your side requires no effort, she'll unconsciously treat it with less care than before. She must feel the contrast between earning her way back and simply being handed the role. Without that, there's no change in the dynamic, and the same patterns that broke things before will return. This doesn't mean you turn cold or unwelcoming. Be warm, but selective. Agree to plans that align with your schedule, not the other way around. Pay attention to her consistency, not just her words. Does she follow through? Does she show respect for your time and your boundaries? Reward genuine effort with presence and step back when it fades. Respect is built when both people invest, and the man who values his own life, time and energy naturally teaches others to value it too. Let her see that your table is a place for those who contribute, not just those who show up. When she realizes she's no longer guaranteed a seat, she'll work to prove she belongs there again. And in that effort, she'll rediscover something far more powerful than attraction. She'll rediscover respect. That's when the dynamic changes for good, and that's when she stops taking her place in your life for granted. 7. Become the man she fears to replace. Replacement is easy until you become the man no one can replace. Before, she measured your value through familiarity, not scarcity. You were part of her daily rhythm, something she believed would always be there. But familiarity breeds a dangerous illusion. It convinces people that what they have will always wait. No contact breaks that illusion. It creates distance, and if you use that time well, it forces her to compare who you were with who you've become. Real growth during this silence makes her realize that losing you wasn't just a choice, it was a downgrade. But here's the truth. If nothing has changed, you're not rare. You're just a memory she can revisit at will. She won't chase what feels easy to replace. She will chase what makes her doubt she'll ever find it again. And that requires more than surface-level adjustments. It demands transformation in both the visible and invisible parts of your life. Elevate your physical health so you carry yourself differently. Strengthen your financial stability so your options multiply. Expand your social circle so you're never dependent on her for connection. Cultivate inner peace so no one can shake your center. Don't announce these changes. Let her discover them piece by piece, each revelation making her wonder how much more she doesn't yet know. That mystery, combined with undeniable improvement, is what flips the dynamic. Suddenly, she's no longer certain she could replace you even if she tried. Be the man whose absence feels heavier than any presence she can find elsewhere. When you become that man, you stop being an option and start being a standard. And the moment she realizes the world outside your life can't measure up, the chase is no longer something you ask for. It's something she does without thinking. 8. Master your emotions before you answer. The first reply after silence can build the bridge or burn it to the ground. That moment carries more weight than most men realize, because your response reveals whether you've truly grown or if you're still standing in the same place she left you. When you answer from raw emotion, whether it's excitement or anger, you give away your center of gravity. You show her that she still controls the tempo. A Stoic man knows control is the real currency. Even warmth can be powerful when it's intentional, not reactive. But if your emotions spike at her message, she'll see that her words can still sway you. Sometimes she may test this without even realizing it, dropping a casual "hey" just to see if you'll scramble to engage. Other times, it's deliberate, to measure if you're still within reach. The solution is simple, but not easy. Breathe before you answer. Let the initial rush pass and ask yourself, will this reply serve my long-term goal or just my momentary feeling? When you can pause long enough to choose the answer that protects your vision, you've already shifted the power dynamic. The man who responds from mastery, not impulse, always sets the terms of connection. And when she senses that your emotions are no longer hers to command, curiosity turns into respect, and respect is where real attraction begins. 9. Build a future she wants to belong to. A woman chases more than a man. She chases a place in his vision. Without a clear future, the past becomes the only story you have together, and if that's all you can offer, her return will feel like pressing rewind on an old tape. Vision is what turns you from a fading memory into a living destination, a place worth moving toward. If your life appears stagnant, she'll assume coming back means repeating the same cycle. And no one fights for a seat on a ship still anchored in the same harbor. But when you're charting a real course, 1, 5, even 10 years ahead, you create a current strong enough that anyone who wants to be part of your world must rise to meet it. Define those goals with precision. Live them out daily so they're not just words, but proof. Grow in your career, deepen your skills, expand your experiences. Let your actions show that your life is moving forward whether she's in it or not. This doesn't just attract her. It attracts the right people in every part of your life. When your path is clear, you don't have to chase companions. They choose to keep up or be left behind. And the man who moves with purpose never fears losing anyone, because his destination is bigger than any single passenger. That's the kind of future she won't want to miss. 10. Guard your worth like it's your kingdom. A king doesn't beg his subjects to stay. He protects the gates. The moment you forget your worth, you leave your kingdom undefended, vulnerable to letting in anyone who offers attention, even if they bring nothing of real value. No contact was your public declaration of self-respect, a clear signal that you will not compromise your standards for temporary comfort. But if you drop those standards the moment she returns, you erase that message entirely. You teach her that your boundaries were never real, just a strategy to get her back. That shift not only weakens your position, it erodes her respect. She must see that being with you is a privilege, earned through equal effort, mutual respect, and shared growth, not something granted by default or nostalgia. Keep your gates high. Protect your time, your peace, and your energy like they are treasures of the crown. Welcome those who bring value and stand shoulder to shoulder with you in building something stronger. Walk away without hesitation when those terms aren't met, because a man who knows his worth never fears loss. The man who guards his kingdom doesn't waste time counting who leaves. He stays focused on who's worthy to enter. And in that steadiness, he sends the most powerful message of all, not just to her but to the world, that his life is a place only the deserving are allowed to call home. Men, if you've followed me through each of these principles, you've already noticed the pattern. This isn't about tricks to get her back. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to chase, because his value, his vision, and his boundaries do the chasing for him. No contact was never the finish line. It was the reset. Reading her actions instead of clinging to her words keeps you from misreading the game. Reigniting attraction comes from growth she discovers, not validation you demand. You feed curiosity and guard mystery because you understand that pacing builds value. You hold steady when her energy shifts, not bending to the tide. You make her earn her place in your life because your time and presence are scarce by design. You transform yourself until replacing you isn't just difficult, it's unthinkable. You master your emotions so your responses are guided by vision, not impulse. You build a future so compelling it becomes an open invitation for the right people to align with you. And through it all, you guard your worth like a king who understands that protecting the gates is more important than counting who leaves. The lesson is simple but not easy. Women are drawn to men who are grounded, growing, and guided by principle. When you live this way, you stop wondering if she'll come back. You start asking a better question, whether you'll even open the door if she does. That's not arrogance. That's a man who's built his life so well that anyone who wants in must rise to meet it. And that, gentlemen, is the position you should always play from. The man who understands these principles stops chasing outcomes and starts building a life that demands respect. This isn't about her, it's about you becoming unshakable, intentional, and rare. If this message grounded you, like this video and subscribe to Stoic Station. Now keep your momentum. Tap the next video on your screen to continue your journey toward the man you were meant to become. Click left or right and take the next step now. Your transformation is waiting, but it won't wait forever.